Good morning, my beautiful people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Maria German Nigerian. Thank you for watching and thank you for being such a loyal fan. I love my community. I love all the inputs. I love the overwhelming support. Keep it on. I love it. Mwah. Today, we're going to talk about money, 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 money. That drives all the Nigerians here, right? When you ask anybody, what is your problem or what do you wish for? Money, 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 money. Money is so central in Nigeria, so we're going to talk about it. And we're going to start with our expenses, like with our monthly expenses, with our yearly expenses as a German Nigerian family. And then I'm going to also try to put it into context here, how I feel as a German living here in Nigeria. How is the comparison? How are the salary incomes? How is the feeling about poverty and super richness, which you have in that country? How is that? So that is what we're going to talk today. But first of all, first things first, happy new month. We are finishing off the first week of summer school. Pooh, there was something, my dears. The kids are so much learning in that school. I'm so happy for it. So they're enjoying their summer school. We're enjoying our little free time before the break starts again and the real school starts, which is going to be the full day. So the summer school is only from 9 to 1, and the full school normally is from 8 to 5. So that first things first. But I tell you one thing, in Germany, we don't say Happy New Month. But here in Nigeria, I feel the new month, like the vibes of a new beginning. So let's start from there. If you're interested in our expenses as a German Nigerian family with 3 kids here in Nigeria, you can also check out my initial video about it when we just moved in. There you see, especially focus on our yearly costs and our first prediction about budgets, because everybody needs to have a budget at the end. Especially when it comes to relocation, you need budget. So check that out if you're interested in the first version. Now there comes the second version. We paid for this rented house. We are not owning it, we are renting it. And here in Nigeria, you are paying not monthly. In Germany, you would always pay monthly your rent. Here you pay yearly. We paid around 17 million altogether. That includes the agents, that includes first renovations. I mean, that is a fully furnished apartment, like not apartment, it's a house, right? It's a semi-attached house with 2 floors, 4 bedrooms. Each of them has a suite bathroom, so a lot of cleaning, my guys, my dears, lots of cleaning for that. You have 2 sitting areas. You have no garden. I wouldn't call it a garden, although the kids are trying to play there. Yes. And you have a parking, of course, very secured estate. So I would, some said, hey, I made a good deal. Some said, wow, that's very expensive. Truth is, in Nigeria, inflation is a crazy thing. Just now I received the new invoices for the upcoming term of the school, and that's crazy. We paid the last term for all the 3 kids. We have a 3-year-old, we have a 4-year-old, and we have a 6-year-old, right? The 6-year-old is now going to primary school, and the other one are in like nursery. We paid last term, we paid all together, and that included 1 school lunch for the smallest, because the other one won't eat it. And that includes after school until 6, but we are picking them by 5 anyway. That includes that. We paid 1.8 million for the 3 of them for the last term. And now the first term upcoming, that is now 2.5 million. So they said they had to increase it by 20%, which is like, whoa. And then I'm in the moms group on WhatsApp, and they're discussing it like, and they have been doing that in a series. Each and every term you have the same thing, like 20%, 15%, and then like that can't be right. I'm not used to this harsh increasings, right? Increasement. So I checked it out. This month, Nigeria has an inflation rate of 28%. Guys, this country, an inflation rate of 28%. Do you know what that means? That is crazy much. That is that is almost 1/3, right? Of 100%. Like, that's crazy. That's a lot, my dears. That's a lot. And I'm wondering why we paid 2 months ago or 3 months ago for those wonderful fruits only like 4,000, maybe 3 or 4,000 for the grapes, for example. And now we are paying like 5 or 6,000. And that explains it, right? Prices are just rising and fees are crazy, and you don't really have to, I don't know, maybe you can fight it. I don't know how to fight this, but I'm definitely not used to it. Where we live in Germany, we have an inflation of 1.8%. That's it. You hardly feel it. Of course, Corona made a lot of things change, but you hardly feel it. I tell you, here in Nigeria, you definitely feel it. You feel it also in the worries, of course, of the people, you know. So, yeah. So the fees was initially, I thought you're paying for the whole year as well in 3 terms. So I estimated that it would be like 2.6 million or something. I was wrong on that one. Okay, that was a wrong budget. They have 6 terms in a year. Actually, each semester is divided by 3. So, and each term is about 2.5 or maybe 2 million for all the 3 of them, including what I've mentioned in extra activities or extra packages. We are not paying for school bus because that is also insane. For the school bus, you would pay 160,000 per child per term. And we have really like just 2-3 minutes to go. If there's no water flooding, check out the other video about that where we were swimming. And that took us like 40 minutes to the school. But otherwise, you would take like 3-4 minutes most to the school to drop the kids. So it's not worth it for us. I'm sure many people need that school bus. So, so the estimation, if you now break it down for the months, you have 2.6, maybe 2 million, because in the first term they're putting the books, the educational resources and everything on the bill. And also they charged us, of course, for the uniforms. We had to pay them. So let's say around 12 million in a year for all the 3 kids. And if you think of this in comparison to where we come from, that is very cheap. Like, it's not cheap. It's really a good price in what we get. Because I can only emphasize, not only in the previous videos, but I can only emphasize how happy I am with that school. My kids know how to count. They know how to read. Like my 6-year-old, he's constantly trying to read anything. So this is totally worth it. So for each kid, you pay in a year round about 4 million for a good school, for a good private school, and that includes everything. That is in a year, and in a month, yeah, you calculate yourself, okay? So this is 17 million for that, for the rent. That is 12 million for the school fees in a year for all the 3 kids. Then we paid for our car. We bought a family car, a used one, a Toyota, like many other people drive here, and we paid 8 million for that. So that is the yearly costs, I guess, right? Yes, I think that is the yearly costs that you have to calculate. Then monthly, I wouldn't say we are really the most saving people. I do compare prices, of course, and I do watch out that I don't buy all the imported products because they are really crazy expensive, of course. We try to go for regional products, and yes, I'm having sometimes cravings, of course. That comes with relocation along. You're sometimes homesick and then you just like your products that you're used to. Sometimes I do have that, but that doesn't really count. So I would say in a week, we do groceries for 150 to 200K. And that is in a month, roughly maybe 700K, okay? 700,000 Naira. And that is actually good. And it's definitely also better than in Germany that we paid more, of course. So we are doing well on that. Then the petrol is extremely cheap compared to Germany. We maybe need a full tank, which is 60,000 Naira in a week. Let me calculate it like this, okay? And then we are maybe on 220,000 for petrol in a month. So we are about for 1 million ready to go. That is our monthly budget. Besides, yeah, that's our monthly budget, I would say. Those phone costs are really cheap. Like I pay for the full month's internet. Internet is another issue. We installed 2 Wi-Fis and both are not reliable. So we are installing now the third one, which is promising a business solution that is reliable 98% of the time. So I'm really curious if that really works. If it works, it is damn expensive. It's 160K in a month. But if it really works, it's absolutely worth it because then I can work from here. I can't work at the moment because nobody would in IT takes you serious if you can't even have a video call. I mean, I hope you guys understand. So for you, it might be a luxury thing to have a reliable internet. For me, is very essential to have a good internet so that I can work with my clients because at the moment I can't. I lost, in fact, all of my projects at the moment, which gives me a lot of time to rethink and restructure my business, which is very, very good. And we had some small incomes from crypto, from our crypto portfolio, as well as from our stocks depot. So I'm not too unhappy about that. But we all know, or I don't know if everybody knows, but August, September is going to be a bit low. So now it's a bit tricky. It's not going to grow. It's only going to go in November, December a bit up. So for now, I don't calculate for August and September some incomes from that side. So what did we have? We have now, let's say 1.2 million Naira in a month. And that is definitely more than the average here in Nigeria has, right? I mean, that doesn't include the rent of the year and it doesn't include the car, initial payments like to buy the car. So I Googled it. The average Nigerian has like 300,000 Naira in a month as income. So I guess that is also about that amount that the persons are spending, because I haven't seen really great opportunities in saving money here in the country. So in terms of savings, I'm not aware how much Nigerians are able to save every month, but I think an average Nigerian maybe has an expense of 250,000 Naira maybe in a month. So we are exceeding that by a factor of 5. Yes. And most of the budget goes for groceries. That's the truth. Our kids, I would say they're choosy. I'm happy when they eat. They don't eat everything. They don't eat pepper. They are very choosy at so many things. And we also like to have fresh fruits, fresh bread. We cook a lot. We used to go to restaurants, but that is a disappointment. Check out the other video for that. I mean, yeah. So we are trying to keep our life simple, but still we are spending 5 times more than an average Nigerian. I do feel guilty about it. I do. When you come out of the complex, you do see a lot of people that are hustling. For example, where this water was that we had to pass for our everyday route, actually, whether it's going to school or to our supermarkets or wherever. They're now that the rain calmed down a bit, they're digging out the channel system, right? The drainage system of the road. And these people, they are not earning, I don't know what they're earning, but my husband said not much. And they said, yeah, it's maybe Hausa people that are doing it for low. I don't know those differences, of course, in the country, but I'm sure they're not getting. I mean, we cleared a ground here close because we were scared of animals coming, like snakes and spiders and whatever, right? So we gave them 15,000 for clearing the whole thing, and that was really a lot of work. Like they chopped down everything in 3 days. Yeah. So, and I'm sure also the person that we gave the money is not the person that worked it, right? So I'm sure the person that actually did it received less salary. So let's assume for this digging, and it's really stinky, it's really a work. Wow. Let's assume they're maybe getting 5 or 10,000 a day. I'm not sure. So when we passed that, we just had to give them 3,000 naira to thank them a lot, because it would really ease the neighborhood and the parsing of this street so much for the work that they're doing, even if it's a dirty work. And what I found also interesting in the research, of my own research, that in cities like in Lagos here, people are not even earning 100,000 naira in a month. 80% of the people here that are hustling here, living here, I know they're dramatic living conditions. Many people, they don't even have a house, they don't even have a room, they don't even have a bed. They're just sleeping somewhere where they find a bit of shelter. If it's raining for them, it's chaotic. That means they don't even have a bed that is dry. We are not talking of madras, we are not talking of privacy, we're not talking of facilities to urinate or to wash yourself or to cook. It's really crazy how some people in this country have to live, or I would even say, and I'm not trying to insult these people, also choose to live. Because poverty, it's circumstances that can really drop you down. Your mindset goes down, and when you accept it, okay, I'm poor, I can't do changes in my life, this is when it becomes so deadly for you. Like you die inside, and that is what you can see in poor people. You can see this deadness of their minds, and I feel so sorry for that. That is what strikes me the most when I see poor people. It's not some of our friends here said, they're saying, oh, my grandma died, or it's my birthday, and they expect you to give small. That, by the way, would never happen in Germany. That nobody would ask you for money. It's a taboo. Nobody talks about money, and nobody would give you money. So, and nobody begs for money. That's the same. So if somebody is of your closer people will ask you for money, I tend to give it, of course, because I'm not used to that. But then I also feel like, what are you going to do with the money? Is it really going to sustain you? Is it really going to do something for you? Or once you have spent it, then you're going to ask for the next one? I don't know. I'm really sorry for this. I don't feel that when I look at these poor people, I don't feel that giving them something really helps them too much. I'm not saying, at least it gives them a moment of hope, I guess, until they are in need of the next 3,000 naira. And what can you do with 3,000 naira? I told you already. We paid 5,500 for the grapes, right? I mean, and not everybody can afford grapes. Mostly they're buying bread, but a loaf of bread is like 2,000 naira. It's crazy, guys. Like, it's really crazy. They're living from nothing, from today to tomorrow. And then tomorrow they're already desperate. They don't know what to do. And how to help these people, I don't know. I can't do it. Some people say, yeah, but if I had the money, I would give it. It doesn't work like this, guys. It doesn't. Yeah, the money topic in this country, I can't solve it. And then you see these people, big cars, big houses, young, styled up. Wow, they're just cashing out money like this. They're buying women for this. They're buying things for it. And then you wonder if you have at the other side people that can't even afford a loaf of bread. And then you have these kind of people, and they're all Nigerians. You're all one nation. These are huge differences. And this is what I'm not used to in Germany. I'm not saying we don't have poverty. We do have poverty. We do have poverty. We do. It's just different because we do have a backup system. If you lose your job in Germany, you get some assistance from the government. That doesn't make you rich at all. At no point it makes you rich. It barely covers the basics like rent and a really reduced grocery basket and like really reduced. They really reduce it to the, of course, they also trying to help as many people as you can, but there is a backup, and that is missing here in Nigeria. They don't have it. If you lose your job, you lose your job. And this is when you get desperate. This is when you offer yourself on the job market for less and less and less. And this is how salaries are dropping as well. And this is actually why I think 80% of the people that are living in cities like Lagos are earning less than 100,000. Because you will always have the next person that will do it for less. And of course, if you are employing somebody, you will take the person that is less. You're not talking of quality work. I mean, yes, you can see that. I'm going to make a video about the quality of building, of handiwork here in this country. Like here, 17 million for a year in rent, and you expect luxury. But the execution and the quality of the house and of the work that has been done on the house, I will show that in another video, in separate video. I have to make it. I'm so disappointed. And you know what's the most weird part? You pay an agent, you pay the rent that is not small, and when something needs to be repaired, the owner, the landlord, is not to be found, is not responsible. For example, our toilet was leaking. I mean, they didn't use quality rubber. Then we had to call the plumber. You can't have a leaking toilet, it's smelly. And we are using it, obviously. So even we have 5 toilets, but you don't expect the kids to run up all the time. Anyway, and that's on us. Or the electric fans here never worked. It's just decoration. So I don't know, so many things. Or okay, we do have infrastructure. I told you already that we did have infrastructure problems in terms of electricity outrages. We had problems with water outrages. So last time that they had a problem in the complex with the main water pump, we emptied our tank and we didn't have water for 3 days. That was a disaster, my dears. And that somehow spoiled the valve of the water tank, so it wouldn't regulate anymore. So when the pump was fixed, it was just pouring and never stopped. It was over pouring from the tank. We had to repair this. Then the handle of the entrance door, second time now it's spoiled. They don't even make a good job. Yeah, so guys, there's a lot to talk about, but I will definitely make a separate video about that. So guys, that's basically the budget. And you can't really say, I know many of our friends, Nigerian friends that are living still abroad, they're saying, yeah, but the Nigeria that I left was so cheap. It must be so reasonable to relocate just in terms of finances, right? And budget. But I tell you guys, it is much more expensive than when you left Nigeria, for sure. As I said, I just stated to you the single cost. We take around 1 million, 1.2 million in a month just for groceries, petrol, and yeah, small activities that we do, but we don't really do activities. Maybe we go to the beach, yes, but we don't really do much. Definitely we are living a simple life. So that is a really huge sum for many Nigerians in Lagos. That is 10 times what a person earns in a month. That is really a lot of money for people. And they believe, okay, if I'm referring now, that's cheap. What do you think about the salaries now in Germany? Of course, you can't compare those things directly. You can't, guys, because a monthly rent in Germany for a family like us, not as like I think I would be not able to afford this kind of house in Germany. If you had to rent out something like this, that would be around 7 million in a month, I guess. That is my estimation. 7 million in a month. And then also electricity. For example, we have the solar. We bought the solar. By the way, we bought the solar for around about 5 million. We pumped it up because of all these outrages. Couldn't take it anymore. There was also initial cost that we put here. And then we pay like maybe 50,000 or 50,000 maybe in a month for electricity, and for water maybe 20,000. That's both prepaid. So I didn't calculate it, the 70,000, because for me it's not too relevant if you look at the grocery comparison. Sorry, I forgot that. Anyway, if you have the same in Germany, you pay 120 euros, which is 240,000 in a month just for electricity. Water is around 50 euros. So yeah, that's a huge difference. You can see already the tripling of the prices compared to Nigeria, of course. And then about 7 million in a month, not in a year, in a month, to rent a house like this. You can't compare it. Even if you get more salary, you can't compare the expenses of life. And I understand why many people think of, hey, why not I go back to Nigeria? And if you have a stable income from Europe or from America or wherever you are, right? You Nigerians that you are thinking about relocation, then come back to Nigeria. Then you can have a really nice life. But if you think you can come back without any cash, without any savings, you're wrong. You need savings. I think for the relocation, you need round about, we had a bit more because of crypto. Was crazy last year, right? In 24, crypto was just crazy, giving us nice savings. So I can really say thank you for that. Thank you for crypto, Walt. Thank you for inventing Bitcoin. Really, that's a cool thing. Anyway, I will make another video about that. Really, guys, Bitcoin is so crazy, guys. We should really do it. And I can only recommend it, but I will make a different separate video about it. But I think if you're really seriously with a family relocating, I would advise you to have at least 25 to 30,000 euros for the initial costs, and to keep yourself up until you find something that you can really do here, But the best, of course, is to have a stable income source, even if it's just 1,000 euros or 1,500 euros in a month from Europe or US, then you're good to go. If you have savings, 25,000, 30,000 euros for initial costs and a stable income of 1,000 or 1,500, and you keep it simple, we welcome to Nigeria. You can have a really nice life, and that is what you should calculate. So I'm really interested, guys, in case you're living abroad and thinking about relocation, what is that about the cost? What does it do in you if I'm telling you all this? How can you please contribute anyhow? I'm so curious. When I'm talking to the camera doesn't give me feedback. So please, you must do it. Give me your feedback. Tell me what, like, do you think I'm living a crazy luxury life? Is my guilt? I do have guilt, trust me. Is it like, should I keep it more simple? What do you think? What are your expenses in a month? What do you spend on groceries here in Nigeria, living here? I mean, include, be fairly that we do have 3 kids that are a bit picky about what they eat and what they don't eat. So give me a feedback on that. If you like that video, of course, also thumbs up. That is what you like. And subscribe. Support me, and that doesn't cost you anything, but it gives me so much, and I get so rich in my heart by your support. Thank you so much, and let's make that month, August, happen. Bye bye.